Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle and this is Murder Mystery Monday. In today's Murder Mystery Monday video, I want to recommend to you a Golden Age mystery set in Japan. That's right. I have The Honjin Murders by, and I'm not going to say this right, but I will try, Seishi Yokomizo. Now, what's fascinating about this one is that it's a true Golden Age mystery in that it was written in 1946. It was not translated into English until 2019, so we are just now getting the awesomeness that is Yokomizo. The translator is Louise Heel Kawai. I was fascinated by the idea of a Golden Age mystery written in Japan, and this was just so much fun. In the winter of 1937, the village of Okamura is abuzz with excitement over the forthcoming wedding. But amid the gossip, there is also a worrying rumor. It seems a sinister masked man has been asking questions around the village. Then, on the night of the wedding, the household are awoken by a terrible scream, followed by the sound of eerie music. Death has come to Okamura, leaving no trace but a bloody samurai sword thrust into the pristine snow outside the house. Soon, amateur detective Kosuke Kindachi is on the scene to investigate what will become a legendary murder case, but can this scruffy sleuth solve a seemingly impossible crime? This is so much fun because it has all the elements of Golden Age mystery, and yet there is all of the fantastic stuff that make it Japanese. It's set in rural Japan, and it talks about koto is an important part of the story, which is a musical instrument, and I'd never heard of that before. So I'm going to include a picture here for you so you can see what one looks like. This was a key part of the case. Yeah, this was fascinating, and I wanted to read to you some information about the author too, because it was so interesting. The book was serialized in a magazine from April to December 1946. Seishi Yokomizo, born in 1902 and died in 1981, was one of Japan's most famous and best-loved mystery writers. He was born in Kobe and spent his childhood reading detective stories before beginning to write stories of his own, the first of which was published in 1921. He went on to become an extremely prolific and popular author, best known for his Kosuke Kindachi series, which ran to 77 books, selling more than 55 million copies and spawning many stage and television adaptations. The Honjin Murders is the first Kosuke Kindachi story and regarded as one of Japan's great mystery novels. It won the first Mystery Writers of Japan Award in 1948, but has never been translated into English until now. Fascinating. Totally fascinating. I will read to you from the beginning, as I do with my Murder Mystery Mondays. First of all, in classic Golden Age form, there is a character list. Chapter 1. Before recording the strange history that follows, I felt I ought to take a look at the house where such a gruesome murder was committed. Accordingly, one afternoon in early spring, I set off, walking stick in hand, for a stroll around that infamous residence. This is a locked room mystery, which is great. And I love, there's all these references to Gaston Leroux, The Yellow Room, which is a really, really early locked room mystery, like late 1800s. And references to John Dixon Carr, who is a famous Golden Age locked room impossible crime mystery author. He also does the classic gentle reader style of like speaking directly to the reader in the story, which I love. And there's this fantastic introduction to the detective on page 80 that I wanted to read to you, because the he's an interesting detective. A young man alighted at N Station on the Hakubi line and came sauntering down the road toward K-Town. He was around 25 or 6, of medium build, on the pale side, and he would have been completely unremarkable if it weren't for his unusual choice of clothing. He wore a matching set of short Haori jacket and kimono in a kind of splash pattern dye with a traditional hakama skirt of narrow stripes over it. However, the Haori and kimono were full of wrinkles, and the hakama, conversely, had lost any trace of its crisp pleats. His toenails were beginning to poke through the ends of his tabby socks. His wooden ghetto clogs were worn down. His hat had lost its shape. In short, for a young man in the prime of life, he seemed shockingly indifferent to his appearance. Isn't that great? The other thing that I loved, here's another example of how the author speaks directly to the reader. This is how I first heard that the young man had played such an important role in the solving of the Honjin murder case. Since then, I have pieced together all the different accounts and have begun to believe that the youth with his apparently relaxed, easygoing demeanor had something of the Anthony Gillingham about him. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't be confused by my sudden throwing out of a foreign-sounding name. This is the lead character in the detective novel The Red House Mystery by my favorite British author A.A. Milne. Anthony Gillingham was also an amateur detective. And here is a quote from this amateur detective who also had a minor stutter. He was such an interesting detective. The killer had submitted the problem of a locked room murder and dared us to solve it. It was going to be a battle of wits. Perfect. Challenge accepted. If it was brains and logic and wit that were required, I was ready to do battle. So if you enjoy locked room mysteries, then I recommend that you check out The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo, written originally in 1946. This was just so fun, and I love Golden Age mysteries, and so it was really fun to read a Golden Age mystery from Japan. So let me know, have you read very much Japanese translated Japanese mystery books? But this is the first one that I've read that was written in the 40s, so I think that's great. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've read this book or if you've read any other translated works that were translated from the Japanese. And I will see you for another video soon.